there's a fragrance I won't wear anymore because my ex-boyfriend, he got it for me. And I actually knew when he gifted it, I said, this relationship won't work. When it comes to gifting, I have 3 tiers that I look at. The budget-friendly baddie, the mid-range luxury price point, the bougie baddie gifts. And this is that person that you sit there and you dread the holidays and their birthdays because you're like, what do you give the person that has everything? That's me. I'm that person. The call's coming from inside the house, y'all.
So sorry.
I always say that there's so much dignity in choice. You know, being able to try something on yourself and decide, oh, this is what I want to adorn my skin with. These are my recommendations for the holiday seasons. I personally love all of these products, and I think you'll love them as well.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Scent World. I'm Marianne Mychaskiw, and I'm so excited to be here with one of my favorite creators, Funmi Monet.
You know what's not blind? My nose. The reason why your perfume doesn't last isn't because of the perfume. I'm in Oman. Let me show you guys what fragrances I packed for my trip. This is the biggest perfume haul I've ever done, and I'm gifting it to one of you. These are my birthday fragrances over the last 10 years. These are some fragrances I recommend you trying out this fall.
The holidays are just around the corner. I can't believe it. None of us can believe it. Where did the year go? We figured who better to give you a gift guide on how to gift fragrances than our favorite fragrance auntie. Funmi, welcome to Scent World.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. You know, gifting is my favorite thing. It's my love language.
I love that too. Gifting is such a love language for me too, but fragrance can be so subjective. And if you don't know where to start, you know, who has time to go and smell everything in Sephora? I would have a headache after that, honestly.
You're right. That's why I'm here.
And I love your commentary on fragrances and just the perspective that you bring to just every review that you post. How did you refine your nose and your taste for fragrances?
You know, the biggest lesson I always tell people is that you don't have to like everything. Mm-hmm. And once I learned to accept that, it became so easy to lean into discovering fragrances within like my personal taste and learning to explore like fragrance categories that kind of circle around like I'm really into gourmands, for example. So like I love exploring fragrances that have like maybe lots of vanilla, you know, fruity notes, like different types of fruity notes. I love floral fragrances as well. So once I like understood, hey, I'm not someone that likes outdoorsy fragrances, earthy fragrances. It's just not me. It just became really fun to add to my collection, knowing these are things that reflect my personal taste.
Oh, for sure. So I feel like, you know, we both love gourmands. I'm such a gourmand girly. I love fruity florals and things like that. But I know that's not the norm sometimes when you're shopping for different people in your life. And people have a very singular idea. When you say vanilla, they're like, that's all I smell. I can't get vanilla out of my head. So I would love to jump into some of your recommendations. But I know that you kind of tier out your gift guides in 3 different sections.
I think that I like to think that buying gifts for people should be something that is really fun and personal, but also, you know, be able to fit within your budget. When it comes to gifting, I have 3 tiers that I look at. We start with the budget-friendly baddie. These are going to be gifts under the $50 price point. Next, we have the mid-range luxury price point. These are going to be gifts right around $100. And next, we have the bougie price point, and these are going to be gifts around the $200 price point. So
tell me a little bit more about accessible luxury and your definition of it, because I feel like within each of these tiers, there's like an accessible luxury overarching theme.
You know, I think a lot of times when people hear the word budget, they think that you're sacrificing quality or style. And a lot of the items within like what I call the budget-friendly baddie category, they still are things that like you'll feel proud to gift someone.
Yeah, it's not giving like last minute gift on the way to the party. It's not giving any of that. It's like, this is actually something that's really nice. Just because you're using the word budget, that doesn't mean there wasn't thought and care put into it. Absolutely. And they're going to use it all the time.
And, you know, anytime you spend any kind of money, whether it's $30 or $300, you know, you worked hard for that money.
Yeah.
I know you felt every cent when you earned it. And so, like, I think it's wonderful that you can still get really great gifts.
So let's get to the actual gift guide. We're going to kick it off with the budget-friendly luxury category that we've just been talking about.
For example, maybe you're looking to purchase something for a office, like holiday party, maybe like a coworker, or you might have someone in your life that you want to show appreciation to, or you could just be on a budget. And these are what I call scented items. So they could be like anything as individual as like a singular product, or it could be like a gift set or something, but it's under $50.
What are some of your selections that I'll probably go buy after this?
Oh my God, please run up the bag. Okay, so I have been a huge fan of this particular brand for, I think, a couple years now. They launched at, I want to say they launched at Target either last year or maybe 2022, but this brand is called Finery Fragrances. One thing I really like about these perfume bottles is that they are actually glass. So they all retail for under $30, but you're still getting a nice glass product, so it doesn't feel cheap. The two I brought as an example are, I don't want to say that these are dupes, but these are like inspired by popular fragrances on that are on the market. And one of them is a cherry perfume, which is inspired by fragrances like Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. And
and that's a pricey one.
It's a pricey one. That one is going to run you up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But for $30, like, you really can't beat it, and it smells incredible.
Yeah, and I love how it's drawing inspiration from some of these really big, sometimes unattainable trends that are happening in the fragrance market, but you can like experiment with them and do so without having to like completely break the bank, you know?
And Target is so accessible to most people, more so than like a Sephora or like a Nordstrom or anywhere else that carries these more high-end luxury brands. I think I personally find the quality to be pretty good, especially for the price point. And like I said, like, I love that they gave us a really nice glass bottle, so you feel like, okay, I have a nice perfume in my hand and not just like a cheap knockoff. And the two I have, like I said, one is the cherry fragrance, and this one is called the New Rouge. This is one of their more recent launches, and this one is inspired by fragrances like Baccarat Rouge, which, you know, is the godfather. Like, it's had the fragrance community in a chokehold for several years, so it's really cool that they put their own spin on it.
It's the fragrance that launched 1,000 homages, and I'm telling you,
like, everyone since then, it's just, they got to put out their own version as well.
So I hear you have a discovery set for us to look at under the budget friendly.
The one from Sephora, the vanillas, what it's going to do is it has 8 of their best smelling vanilla fragrances. So I'll give you an example of like a vanilla fragrance that's doing really, really well at Sephora. This is Vanilla Woods by the 7 Virtues.
Oh, love that scent.
And it's been out for a few years because I've been wearing mine at least since like 2021. Really, really cool like line of fragrances, right? But once again, like the thing with gifting is sometimes you like to give people options to explore. So I like these types of sets because it's going to give you like maybe 8 of their really popular fragrances, but you don't have to like splurge on getting an entire bottle. So another really popular fragrance that's a vanilla fragrance at Sephora is Vanilla 28 by Kayali. Most vanilla fragrance lovers will have a bottle of Vanilla 28. But for that person that, you know, okay, you like sweet perfumes, you like smelling sweet, this is a way to explore and try fragrances on your skin to see what you might like to add next.
Exactly. You kind of discover things you might not have tried otherwise within the discovery set because, you know, some of the brands might be new to this person and you're giving them a category of scents, but it's also kind of the gift that keeps giving because the Sephora gift sets kind of, they encourage you to buy a full size or travel size by giving you a certificate that you can redeem towards the amount of that bottle.
Yeah, so I love this gift set because I think you can redeem it for a smaller size bottle of one of their vanillas, or it might be a travel. Like, you can redeem it for something else. So, and honestly, like, the samples look really tiny in the box, but they're actually pretty substantial. You can get like at least 2 to 3 wears out of a sample. So like if you have like 8 samples and you get 3 wears out of each one, you basically have like a month of perfumes that you can use. Like at least 24 days of fragrance from just like one set. Like that's plenty of time to be able to explore something and kind of see which one suits you best.
Exactly. And another way that you have spoken about bringing luxury into your home or that feeling of just like, this is opulence is through scented candles. And Anthropologie has a lot of really amazing ones that kind of fit within the budget bougie gal type of category.
Yeah, so the reason I selected the Anthropologie candles is because candles is once again like something that most people tend to purchase on their own, but I was drawn to the Anthropologie candles because they had a really cool vessel. I always like to remind people that budget doesn't mean you have to sacrifice style, and having like a cool like, you know, design on your bottle is something that when you gift it to someone, they'll remember like, oh, like so-and-so gave that to me at Christmas time. Like, this is, you know, like when they look at it, they're like, oh, that doesn't look like my typical candles that I usually get. And it just kind of reminds them, like, especially when they smell it and when they see it, that someone special gifted it to them.
Exactly. And I think, you know, you're giving them a moment within the scent that they're going to kind of have in their home. And once the candle burns through, you can use it as a vessel for flowers. Like, again, it's a gift that kind of keeps giving, and it continues to be a design piece in their house, and they'll thank you for it. They'll think of you every time they look at it.
Yeah, I love that, you know, and so those are the kinds of things like I kind of remind people to look for while they're gifting, is to look at not only how like functional this thing might be for the person you're gifting it to, but also like how stylish it could be existing in their home.
For sure. So let's move on to the mid-level luxury category. This one's a bit fun because you kind of know the person a bit better at this point when you're looking for these kinds of gifts.
So you're going to be kind of maybe going into like a Sephora. You're going to be going into like a Nordstrom or something, but you can spend like maybe up to $100. So I'm looking at like gifts at around the $100 price point. The mid-luxury price point is a great gift point for someone like that, you like maybe you know they wear something already, so you want to replenish that thing in their life.
And one of the items that you listed was the Sephora Favorites Discovery Set. Another discovery set has 18 sample size fragrances and a scent certificate for the full size bottle.
So what I like that Sephora does is that they have like a mixture of the classics. So it's going to be some of the long time popular fragrances like Flower Bomb. This is a fragrance that I remember when I was in high school. There's a lady that worked at my high school. Her name was Pamela Gray. She might watch this. I know she still follows me on socials, but she was probably one of the most fabulous people I've ever met. Like, just always really stylish, makeup done, always smelled good, and she wore a Flower Bomb. So just from the time I was like 18 years old, I've always associated Flower Bomb with someone that always smelled fabulous and had their life together. I wanted to be someone that was fabulous and had my life together.
And
when
here
I grew
you
up.
are.
And now here I am. Fabulous, kind of have my life together.
Hey, we're trying.
I'm a work in progress. My story is still being written. But Flower Bomb is like what I consider like a classic fragrance because it's been around so long, but it's still like a really top selling perfume. But you'll also see like new fragrances, like newer fragrances, like something like the Fenty perfume, which has not been out as long. Like, this is definitely like a more recent release. I think it's been out for like a couple years, but they really do a good job. I think another fragrance in the set, from what I remember, is the Vanilla Candy from Kayali. This is a brand new fragrance. This came out, I want to say back in May. I was
very recently.
I was on the campaign. Yeah, I was part of this campaign. So this is a new fragrance from Kayali that would be part of that set. Another classic option they have in that set is, like I said, fragrances like Black Opium by YSL. This is a fragrance that's a really, really top seller at Sephora. And one more I'd like to show is this is Charlotte Tilbury's More Sex. This is another very recent fragrance that came out in like, I want to say this came out in around May of this year. So you're getting a really great mixture of classics and new fragrances. And it's a fun way to explore. Like,
it is.
You get this fragrance at Christmas time. By February, you decided, all right, I know what I'm wearing for Valentine's Day.
Charlotte Tilbury, More Sex, maybe.
Like, we're wearing, we might have to pull out the Charlotte Tilbury for but you can, like I said, trade in the certificate for a full size. So it's kind of like two gifts. Like, you get to explore 18 fragrances, and then you get to figure out the one that suits you best.
For sure. I hear you have another discovery set for us from Victoria Beckham.
Oh, so this is a recent like favorite for me. This is a recent find. So I discovered this fragrance a few months ago. This is Portofino 97 by Victoria Beckham. I have been obsessed with this. I've put so many friends onto it. I rave about it online. I recently actually even bought their shimmering body oil.
Ooh.
But the really cool thing about Victoria Beckham, her line of fragrances, is that they're just really chic. Like, this is for that person in your life that's like, you know, really very chic, really maybe stylish, like they're very much into fashion and travel, and they like to curate nice things. This would be a great gift for someone like that, because her gift set comes with 3 mini size fragrances from her line. So you'll get this one, which is Portofino 97, as well as 2 others. And the cool thing is that if you realize, okay, I like one of these fragrances, you can actually, the money that you spent on the fragrance, you can redeem it towards the purchase of a full-size fragrance. So I think the gift set is like $30.
Oh my gosh.
So you can
That's
actually
amazing.
I think it includes a voucher that you can go back online on their website and use that $30 that you spent on the gift set towards the purchase of your next fragrance.
That's so smart. I love that these gift sets encourage more discovery and kind of encourage you to buy something that your favorite thing from the set that you love. And Victoria Beckham, like everything she does is chic. I have a Spice Girls tattoo underneath this sleeve that I mean, I don't want to pull it up and show you, but I love her. And
it's just really, I think she honestly has done a really great job of curating her line to be very chic and timely. It doesn't feel trendy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of celebrity lines can sometimes feel kind of cheap, trendy, or money grab. Her line honestly fits in so seamlessly with the crowd of people that shop in these upscale spaces, Another thing I've realized with these fragrances is that they're unisex. So this doesn't have to be for the lady in your life who is chic. This could be for the gentleman in your life who's also into like really chic, very cool fragrances. And I love this idea of discovery, and giving people the choice. I always say that there's so much dignity in choice, being able to try something on yourself and decide, oh, this is what I want to adorn my skin with.
So next on the list, you have some Nest candles that fall within the category. Oh my gosh, I love Nest.
I love the Nest candle. So I wanted to bring my favorite Nest candle, which is the vanilla one.
Oh, it's so
I
good.
actually finished it because I love it so much. No, I literally, every single time they go on sale, like either at Sephora or they do a sale, I buy like 3 or 4. They're really long lasting and they really fill up the space in your home. Like I think that Nest has some of the best candles, like in the market, that are very, very accessible, and I think like reasonably priced for like a mid luxury like candle price point. But this is one of their new candles. It's a seasonal candle. It's called Autumn Plum.
Ooh, it's very pretty.
It's beautiful. This is a really cozy, warm, very fall type fragrance to burn in the in the cooler months. And it's really lovely. Like the candles, I like that the vessels usually kind of match what's going on with the candle as well. This is like a purple color, so it goes with that autumn plum. But I'm telling you now, if you get someone a Nest candle, they're going to know, okay, this is someone with taste.
It's really nice. And yeah, for our friends at home that are listening on audio, the Nest candle that Funmi is describing, it's like a very deep purple. The wax is purple. It feels so luxurious. And again, these vessels, I think, they have life beyond the lifespan of the candle. Like I would display that in my house as a flower vessel or something like that. I'd put succulents in it. It's a very beautiful candle. And like she said, you're not messing around if you're given a Nest candle. You have taste. You are fancy. You put thought into this.
It's definitely like an elevated candle gifting idea.
So let's move on to the high level luxury category. This is fun. This is fancy. This category flies private. She does caviar service.
She's exclusive. She's icy. She's always wearing the most expensive things.
Oh, yes. She owns everything.
She owns everything. This is that person that you sit there and you dread the holidays and their birthdays because you're like, what do you give the person that has everything? That's me. I'm that person. It's me. I'm guilty. The call's coming from inside the house, y'all.
So sorry.
I'm that person. My friends dread my birthday and Christmas. And I started telling them you guys don't need to get me anything. Your friendship is a priceless gift for me, right?
Exactly.
But they still they always want to try to get me something, which I appreciate. But I know that they're crying on the inside because they're like, oh my God, Funmi has everything. I can't get her a perfume because Funmi will wake up thinking about perfumes and then just go buy it that day. So in tier 3, you're going to start going into maybe a Neiman Marcus. You're going to be in a Saks. You might be in a luxury niche perfume store. Ooh. But you're definitely looking more towards that $200 price point and up. So those are the kinds of things I tell people, that when you spend this kind of money, it's very important that you know that person very well. So you're getting them something that they'll use.
Exactly.
I am a huge fan of Initio parfums. So the first the first reason I love them is because the fragrances are really long lasting. Like, I know a lot of people don't like fragrances that they have to constantly reapply. They are high end. Like, these fragrances are expensive. You're looking at $300+ for a perfume. So these are certainly not a cheap gift.
Yeah.
And in addition, like, you are going to find these in maybe some of the niche perfumery stores or like a place like Neiman Marcus. These are definitely going to be like in high-end spaces. So I love the Initio gift set because, it's on the higher side. You're looking at like, I think it's like $175 or something. Like it's on the higher side, but it comes with all of the fragrances in their line. So it comes with a sample size of all the fragrances in their line.
I love that. And I love that they're all long lasting because a little will go a long way and you can really just milk this set for months depending on your mood. And since it has all of the fragrances in the line within it, hey, you're getting an experience.
And, I find Initio fragrances to be super unique. Like these are not going to be your more run-of-the-mill designer fragrances. So for that person that has a little bit more of what I maybe call a discerning taste or looking for something that's a little bit more unique to add to their collection, this could be a really great option for them.
For sure. And I feel like their fragrances are so just opulent and they smell very different on everybody depending on how it warms up on your skin.
Absolutely. Very luxe.
Love that. It's couture fragrance.
It's couture. It's high. It's giving exclusive.
Okay, so next up,
the brand is called Untitled Luxury, and they are based. This is a Turkish-based fragrance house. So I actually discovered them last year when I was in Istanbul for my birthday, and I really, really love this brand. So, like I said, when you're spending like $200-$300 on a fragrance bottle, you want to make sure that fragrance really encompasses the luxury price point that you're spending. So these have such gorgeous bottles. Like the bottles are really beautiful, very substantial. It has a really nice heavy cap. It has a little, it has some type of engraving. So like I said, you're definitely feeling the luxury price point when you hold the bottle in your hand. They're also super unique. Like I find the juices to be not really like anything else I have in my collection. They're very long lasting as well. These are extracts. So you're going to get a fragrance that's going to really last on your skin. You're getting a luxury experience. And their gift sets also include I think the most popular fragrances in the line. So you're getting quite a few, like I want to say like 10 or more in the gift set.
I love that. And because it's a Turkish brand, Unike, I feel like it's new to me. It might be new to a lot of even the most discerning fragrance loving friends. And you're kind of giving them something that they wouldn't find in their stores nearby them.
Absolutely. I think like getting fragrances for these types of people you have to maybe you just have to also know what they appreciate. Maybe this is someone who appreciates travel and culture.
Yeah.
Maybe they appreciate trying new foods. Like this is someone who has a very curious palate.
Yes. This will make your fancy friend feel seen. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is that friend that they like to splurge on nice gifts for themselves and nice vacations and nice things in their home as well. So they would appreciate a gift like that.
Amazing. And speaking of nice things in the home, LAFCO candles was another recommendation that you had under this category. I love their candles.
I love LAFCO. So this particular candle that I brought is their collaboration with Sir Candleman. I think I bought like a dozen of these. I love these candles so much. What I love about the LAFCO candles, I was introduced to this brand by Sir Candleman. He is our fragrance connoisseur. He's our candle connoisseur. So he really does a lot of research into brands that are going to give you amazing quality waxes, scents, and vessels. And I think that the LAFCO brand does a great job nailing all three. These vessels are so beautiful. Like when I have them like on my coffee table, in my kitchen, like in my office, I know I'm looking at a good product. They burn so beautifully. Like they burn really clean and very true. So they don't have a lot of soot. And in addition, the scents are really unique. This one in particular is it's so beautiful. And I think that when you are paying a little bit more for this type of candle, you want to make sure you're giving it to someone who would appreciate like the quality.
For sure. We actually just interviewed him on the podcast and I feel like I learned so much about candles, but that one in particular, it's so beautiful. I went home and I lit it and I felt like I was living in a penthouse. It was that type of a vibe.
wonderful. He did an amazing job with this collaboration. LAFCO candles, just overall, the line is really, really solid. And like I said, this is the kind of gift you give to someone who will appreciate this candle. My mom, she's not like into candles. Like she likes, she'll burn candles around the house, but she doesn't care if they're from like the Dollar General or like, she has Bath and Body Works candles. She just kind of has whatever candles I pass off to her. But she can't really tell the difference between any of them.
And the vessels, again, they're so beautiful. It's like hand-blown glass. It feels very much like an art piece in your home.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very chic, It's very chic. It's not doing too much. Very demure, very classy.
Very cutesy.
Very cutesy, very modest.
Love that. So I have to ask, why do you think fragrances make a great gift?
Okay, so a lot of people don't seem to know this about me, but I'm actually a licensed therapist. So I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. I'm a licensed professional counselor. So mental health has a lot of influence on how I approach my fragrance routine, my fragrance journey, and self-care in general. And there's so much evidence that supports fragrance, like, is tied strongly to memories and your emotions. And so I think a lot of times, for me, when I go through my fragrance collection, like when I smell something, I remember a time when I wore it. So I think that whether it's a home scent, like a candle, or a fragrance that, you give someone, it's a great way to attach a piece of yourself to them when they have it on. And hopefully it's happy memories. I remember there's a fragrance I won't wear anymore because my ex-boyfriend, he got it for me. And it was a terrible fragrance. I actually knew when he gifted it, I said, this relationship won't work. Because it's a fragrance I would never wear. Like I knew this is not somebody who knows me. Like you have never taken the time to get to know me. If you would think I will put this on. I knew he didn't take the time to pick for me. And that's kind of like, what I think about with gifts is how intentional were you with, okay, I know this person and I know this is the kind of thing they would appreciate. And that's like a kiss.
Oh, I love that. And you said, it shows how well you know the person. And just, whenever they spray it on, they're kind of feeling your love in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a memory that you're leaving every single time they spritz it on.
Funmi, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had so much fun talking with you about your gift guide and for all of these incredible recommendations. I'm really excited to buy these for people on my list. Stay tuned. Spoiler alert, you might be getting some of these because it shows no matter your budget, no matter your taste in luxury, everything can be kind of accessible and attainable depending on what you want. I do have one last question for you. What is one fragrance that you recommend every person who is watching or listening right now to try and why?
Okay. I'm going to toot my own horn when I say this.
Yes.
But I absolutely think that everyone should try Exulté. If this is the only fragrance I ever make in my life, like I never get the opportunity to make anything ever again, I want this to be a fragrance that stands the test of time. I want it to be classic, iconic, timeless, and it embodies that. This is my Chanel number 5.
Ooh.
It's very modern. It's really fresh. It's really clean. It's really sexy. It's warm. It's inviting. It's a floral, but it's not your grandma's rose. This is my favorite type of Turkish rose. It has pink pepper, lemon, vanilla, amber. It's really, like I said, warm. It's sensual. And it's also a fragrance you can wear year round. It is appropriate for every season. It's appropriate for every environment. This is more going to be in that mid luxury price point, but it's a high quality fragrance. So whether you have that person in your life that they wear $30 perfumes or they wear $300 perfumes, Exulté is the kind of fragrance anybody can appreciate. And like I said, it's not only for the lady in your life. Like I've had so many men that have purchased this. I've had a lot of women that told me that their husbands or boyfriends have taken their bottle because they love wearing it as well. So I love that it's really universal. It's really inclusive. And I think that because it is limited edition, it's something really special that you can give someone and they'll know, wow, this is really different.
Oh, I love that. I'm sold. Add to cart. I'm sold.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again. This was the best day talking to you.